I've been getting smart, that's what.
Makes a welcome change, Mosely.
But the day a bunch of drum-banging, mumbo-jumbo chanting magicians can catch old Lightfoot Mosely is the day I die. Can't argue with that logic. Now, these guys have it wired, I tell you. From the mayor to a couple of major judges, right down to the beat cops. The Gettys are untouchable from that angle. But once I really start digging, it was like I could see clearly. These guys are into everything that happens in this city, and most people are scared shitless of them, or they don't know about them at all.
Fill him in.
Let me fill you in on what I've learned in the past 5 days.
I have a castle now.
Okay, have at it.
Check fucking mate. You got your pension? I have a castle.
Dr. John is her right-hand man. I learned that much. You sure know how to...
I love that your little woman and he was like, that's nice, dear.
She's not really responsible. Because during these ceremonies, she's written by the spirit of her ancestors.
I have a cat. You're right, thank you.
You don't say.
I'm an adult with a castle.
It's true.
I'm an
adult.
I have something, a talisman, that I can use against
She didn't even say it.
It'll help, but they probably still have a power source somewhere in
Is
that
she alright?
food. Also, this whole thing kind of ties in with my nightmare scene and my family history. My family does this shadow hunting thing, and about 300 years ago. Look, don't confuse me, okay? You worry about all that metaphysical.
Keep it
stuff,
simple.
and I'll just try
Keep
and
it
catch
simple.
the
You're a shadow hunter. Alright, okay. You
Yeah.
hunt vampires now. Gotcha. I watch Buffy. I kind of know what it means.
Tell me about yourself. I'm scared shitless. That's
I don't know
all
why,
you
but
know.
like I always like the way he said it. It's almost like he's kind of really
What should we do
confident.
about Grace?
Tell me about yourself.
Them voodoo people.
It's like,
are taking her
get off me,
goddamn
Mr. Knight.
bastard. We have to find her and save her, and we can't count on the police department for any help. What should we do? I told you. Let's make a plan. What do you think we should do? We need to find the
There's this
headquarters
one strand
of
that was
the
really
Getty
annoying me.
cartel, rescue Grace, and dig up some concrete evidence so that I can take this straight to the FBI. Sounds easy. Uh-huh. Do you have any idea where their headquarters might be? Perhaps. Well, you do seem to have a knack for sniffing out this voodoo.
Oh, it's like
stuff.
it's instinct.
Why don't you see if you can locate it for sure? Meanwhile, I've got some things I've got to do. I'll meet you there later. How will you find it? Damn, that's right. If only I had the tracker from my office. I have it. Really? Good going.
I mean, you did leave us
Give
the
it to
key
me
to your
and the
office,
signal device at the
Mosely.
entrance to the
Just
headquarters.
saying.
All right.
So we don't need to do
Here's
repeat
the
the plan.
tracker.
We know what we're doing.
Great. And don't forget to leave the signal device near the entrance to the home floor. And be careful.
I make no promises.
You're forgetting who you're talking to,
You
Mosely.
too.
I'm shit at everything. I don't take ownership for any of my actions. That was a cut. Now, do I check the paper? Yes, I do.
Nice. I wonder who brought it in.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's like, hello, is anyone in? Okay.
I'll just leave this here.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Don't forget to pay the tab.
1993. The Weather Service is baffled by the series of bizarre storms that rocked the South
Ooh.
yesterday. 20 died, and close to 100 were
It's a good thing our plane landed.
The storms only accentuate the bad luck that seems to
Bad
have
luck?
gripped the South.
Bad juju.
The crime rate for the past 3 days has
I thought she said crime rape. I was like, what?
There
What?
have been
As opposed to any other, yeah.
cases of
Yeah.
food poisoning in New Orleans alone. In other words, keep your head down, folks, and pray that August will return us to sanity. Warily, Gabriel
I love
reads
this,
his
by the way.
horoscope for the day. Gird thyself with mercy, arm thyself with righteousness. The final hour awaits.
There's a school teacher somewhere who's damn confused.
It's everyone who's like a Sagittarius just starts taking arms. That's how the Capitol riot started. It's our horoscope. It's like, get your gun, we're gonna get Baden. Yes, yes I will. It was all horoscopes, clearly. So now you probably just it's one of those really subtle things where like you're suddenly talking about circles in a circle. Now we just realised that the park has that like style as well. But again, the question is, there's nothing really obvious at the park except for this motherfucker doing the radadrums, which we can understand. Let's see what he's saying.
Gabriel Knight is here.
Snitches get stitches. Can we say that to him?
He's staring at me.
He's reading a book at me.
Listens carefully to the drums and opens his radar book to translate.
So like I said, this is something that you could, in theory, listen to throughout the game if you got the radar drums like earlier in the week, but. So you see, tonight is there. It's down there, yeah.
Future.
I think the pluses are like spaces. They're like breaks in the flow. So Hound 4 is just there in the middle. You'd see they call it HTTH. So it's also trying to get in the right order as well. So. Yeah, sometimes I thought you'd get bonus points for this, but apparently, like this is one of those kind of bonus ones where you can say like they're calling the conclave here in the Hound for tonight. So I thought it would trigger, but it did not. Maybe it did. Maybe I missed. Yeah, there you go. So it doesn't trigger, but now you know what they're actually saying. So there you go. Little extra bit of content there. Again, Sierra like tend to do the point system for the games, so it's other stuff like that would give you extra points for and would stop you getting the whole 100% completion. Thankfully, you don't need to 100% this game. Just an extra little well done you for doing it. So like I said, so Gabriel reckons that the secret voodoo base, the Hound 4, is around Jackson Square somewhere because it's a circle within a circle. Makes sense that the church is right beside it. Now it's finding somewhere that they can avail of.
Gabriel cannot go in there. That's the priest part of the confessional.
I'm actually so offended by that. It's like, oh, how
You should know
you
better.
should know better. Well, I mean, he doesn't. He masqueraded as a priest like not 4 days ago, so clearly he feels like he can. Actually, that's a good point. Now, I should have like disguised myself as a priest and then tried to use that confessional box. I wonder if there's an Easter egg hiding in there. If there is, there should have been.
A mesh window provides access to the confessional from the priest's booth. It's the confessional.
So you remember, like we.
Is a knothole about
there
the
we go.
size of a quarter in the wood paneling on that wall.
So that was me trying to actually get to the knothole, but it didn't work. Can't remember which one to actually use. I think it's the one on the right. Yeah, you see, there's actually no knothole in that one.
The confessional is about
So we just leave them looking around, making sure it's the right one.
It's a confession.
So, basically, the whole gimmick basically is that the confessional box is actually an elevator,
Gabriel cannot open.
as you'll find out now. Which is pretty ballsy, to be honest. Like,
Something about this knothole looks familiar.
Foxy. Not holes where strangers become friends. You don't have to know them.
Ride's over.
So, this is a classic Sierra in terms of like
Alright, Mosely.
what they call dead man walking syndrome. You have to leave items here for Mosely to use later on. There's 2 you have to leave behind for him, right? In order for him to come in. The tracker's one of them, but how else is he going to use the elevator?
Gabriel puts the snake rod under the bench for Mosely.
Like I said, so you think you could have been going good guns with like leaving the tracker there for him, but of course you can't work the
The
elevator.
elevator stops at a room underneath the cathedral.
Express elevator to hell.
The elevator
It looks
returns
nice.
to the cathedral. Gabriel's stuck now.
Yep, we can't go back.
That piece of art on the wall looks like something the Gettys had transplanted from Africa.
So this is where the
Its
voodoo
keypad
base
has
is,
a
lads.
button and a card slot. Gabriel,
Yeah, verbs. There's a wonderful level of semantics this game has. I was expecting that as well. I was like, gong.
Or the door just...
this side
Yeah.
has 6 snakes on it. The hound floor
So as you can
is
see, the
decorated
hound floor is laid out
with
exactly like the
African
one in
art.
Benin, which means you have 12 rooms in the side, and we have an inner circle. And the inner circle is where the ritual will take place. But what are in the other rooms, I hear you asking?
This sign has 5 snakes on it. The hound floor is decorated with priceless African art.
So I have to be kind of quite careful here because Grace is in one of these rooms. But the difference is that once you find Grace, you're locked into the end game. So you actually have to find everything first, which is a bit bullshit. On the plus side, they have a framed portrait of the Undertaker on the left hand side there.
Shadowy figure is on the wall. One of the Lord,
And it's purple.
maybe.
Yeah, it's purple, yeah. I don't think there's like one just off screen which is also
Gabriel
Paul Bearer.
looks at the papers in the inbox.
Oh,
but
I've
sees
been working in
nothing
this
of
hell
interest.
for years.
Rawlings' underworld is probably run from these
Oh,
desks.
yeah.
That's what you sounded like.
Oh.
Tell me it was wrong.
my impressions are not appreciated here in this house.
I appreciate it.
There's a
I'm
map
just
on the wall
linking
there.
it to something that's...
A beautiful
Wonderful.
rendering of the
I know.
Getty Vivi hangs in the hall.
Didn't say it was a good reminder.
Thanks, Kira.
Welcome.
You deserve that. There's another office. Ooh, is that a little black book?
Gabriel looks at the inbox and sees a black record book.
You all know how valuable black books are in the criminal underworld.
This record book might be the kind of thing Mosely wanted for the FBI.
Evidence.
Evidence! And we're going to just have a little read of this black book.
Looks like an accountant's record book.
You seem
The
to
cover
forget
is
about
printed
that
with
little
the
thing
words
called
Getty Tribe.
evidence.
The Getty Tribe record book contains the names and rather drum codes for tribal members.
So, Sister Alligator is Malia, as you remember from the ritual. But the another one of note is what Dr. John's one is.
Portrait of
He is
a
Brother
beautiful,
Eagle.
intelligent
So you have to
looking
remember his
woman
code.
is on the wall. She reminds Gabriel of Malia, her mother perhaps.
Potentially. Again,
The
all the
white
females
board
of the family.
contains what looks like calculus equations.
Who knows what these guys are into?
Maths. What perverts.
Shocking.
Is that differential calculus? Get the hell out of my screen.
What kind of black magic is this stuff?
It's multiplication, Foxy. What do you mean? People can count further than 3? What the fuck?
Not terrifying in the slightest. Ah!
Ah. Press button.
coming.
Ooh, sketch.
That's
It's Malia. Again, this is something you could have easily missed.
Your daughter requests an audience.
What
What is it you seek, child? Tetelo, I beg you again, for my sake, spare Gabriel's life. Do not protect or mourn that one. He will only betray you. Gabriel would never betray me. He will, as God has betrayed me. Blinded by the
Apparently,
light.
Tetelo works on a all men are bastards routine.
Yeah.
Darkness. No,
Which they are.
I don't believe that. You were betrayed, but Gabriel is different. I cannot serve you any longer. Choose another. I cannot go on.
Huh. So you say, because you are drawn to the light. What you do not know is that the light will never have you. You only corrupt
That's a
if
bit harsh.
you draw near.
I don't believe you. This way, this life is too painful. I must be free of it.
You can never be free. You will see, my daughter. What I've told you is true. You will see.
Wait! I won't go through with it. I won't. I won't.
Again, she doesn't quite have a say in the matter. And in case anyone asks, if you do try and like press the button on the door, it's locked. It doesn't interact with it. Just in case you're looking for game over screens in this game. So yeah, that kind of complicates matters here. So like Malia does not want to be possessed by Tetelo. Oh, well, there's Dr. John. We're just gonna leave.
This is a casual. Yeah.
That was literally like the fucking Abe Simpson, like.
Reverse.
Yeah. Hopefully he didn't notice the fact that his door opened and closed very suddenly there. So, now we're at 12 o'clock, I think. So again, I know one of them is
Gabriel cannot
the end
take
game,
that.
but we can't go there yet. So I'll probably, if I skip one door, that's why. Because I want to show off all the rooms first before progressing the plot. Nice bedroom. Again, for a voodoo hound fort, they have quite a nice decoration though.
Accommodation.
Yes. Now I think that is Grace's room.
It's a vast, large,
I don't recall.
beautiful, and probably quite heavy.
Yeah, there you go. So I do skip it. So there's a few rooms that you do need to avail of first before doing anything. And there's a few little bonus ones that you can get in there, where like the Malia room, for example. So
Yeah, to get more content.
exactly.
Context. Sorry.
Context, yeah. For example, here's the animal room.
This snake is quite a bit
Yeah.
larger than one they use in the ritual. Perhaps he's more of a tribal mascot. He's obviously too large for one person to handle.
I like to think this is actually the accountant.
So, this is where they keep the animals they use in their rituals. The goats look unconcerned. At least they have no idea what's in store for them. The small cages contain tarantulas and rats. So,
So yeah, you have chickens, roosters, the
Try
whole
to
lot.
be quiet in here.
Shh, dude! It wasn't me.
I know it wasn't you.
No, it sounded like me. Me and goats sound very similar. You do. Ah. Ah. I like one of those goats with the tongue is too big. Have you seen that one? It's a very special goat.
it's locked.
Ooh. Intriguing.
Creepy.
Yeah, that's a interesting one. Nice art all the same. Like it's nice African art, but yeah, very they're like grotesques almost. Ah yes, now this is somewhere we do need to be.
Those two masks remind Gabriel of the ones used at the Bayou ritual.
Which means we need them.
He
Ceremonial
escapes.
robes
Yes.
hang behind the other supplies.
But again, here's the trick here. There's 2 masks and 2
I
robes.
think I'll take this wolf mask for me.
Right? This is where people trip up.
This boar mask seems appropriate for Mosely, if he ever makes it.
Because bear in mind, you could get like a mask for yourself and the cloak,
A
but
robe
if you don't
for
get
me.
something for Mosely, you're fucked.
A robe for prosperity.
So that's a bit of a clever enough puzzle, because like this area will be a bit trial and error the first time, because you realise, oh, I need to leave stuff for Mosely and then have to keep stuff for Mosely. So it's kind of trying to solve that a little bit in a sense. So the next thing we do, you notice some of the rooms there were locked, right? So the next thing now is to get Dr. John out of there, out of his room, because he has a key card in his area.
They probably conceal air supply systems or other
What room was he
control
in?
mechanisms.
He was in
that
room that
support
this is another part, is to try and
the
keep track of what
underground
rooms people were in.
structure.
So he was in room 2, which, as you know, 7 and 2, opposite sides. So the trick is basically you want him to get to whichever side of the clock you're going to. So see that you're coming in from the left hand side, right?
Mm.
So if you're 7 o'clock, he's coming from 2. You have to go to kind of the place where he won't meet you in the middle,
Yeah.
essentially. So you do actually have to think where you want to walk past them.
The Getty Hound for Portomi time. Rather drunk, like those used by the Getty relayers round the quarter.
Stop you drinking.
Oh, be fair, but it's over there. Like, I stopped myself from drinking.
Okay, I'll give it a shot, but I'm no musician.